those of you who aren't familiar with the Earned Income Tax Credit, this is something that it's a federal program that grew largely during the Clinton administration, and it was meant to address the problem a lot of folks had with having to choose between remaining on welfare versus going to work, and the skewed incentives in the system that caused a lot of people willing to work to remain on welfare. What the Earned Income Tax Credit does is offer people money back, essentially, from the Internal Revenue Service, even though they are working. And so it's something that has helped millions of people out around the country, but unfortunately not too many people know about it. That's why every year we have this press conference to talk a little bit about it, to let people know that there are resources out there that they can avail themselves of in order to become eligible for the credit. Now, unfortunately, 1 in 5 eligible workers and families around the country miss out on the credit because they don't know how to file for it. They don't know that it even exists. But the funds are pretty substantial. It can mean up to $475 for people without children, and for people with children, 3 or more qualifying children, it can mean up to almost $5,900. The amount of the credit varies by income and filing status, and the average earned income tax credit amount in Massachusetts last year was about $1,900, so almost $2,000 on average in Massachusetts. So we just need to get people to know about it and know how they can file for it. And so today I am joined by Corinne Williams, who's the director of the Community Economic Development Center, who will tell you about her volunteer income tax assistance program, where residents were unable to prepare their own taxes and cannot afford professional help can receive assistance. And Corinne, this is a very important program, and we really appreciate everything that the CEDC does for folks in the community. But we got to get people to know about it, and ask you to come on up and let us know how we can do that.
Great. Thank you so much, Mayor. And I'm really thrilled to be here today because this is our 10th year working in partnership with the VITA program, and with our community partners like PACE, with the IRS, and the partnership that we've had with the City of New Bedford and with UMass Dartmouth, because that's what it takes, a partnership of going above and beyond to make free tax preparation available to the community. We operate our tax site during weekday hours, Monday through Friday, and also on Saturdays. There are appointments available in the daytime, early evening, and on Saturday to accommodate different schedules of working families. We also want to mention that another big push on our outreach efforts are having to do not just with the Earned Income Tax Credit, but with a Massachusetts benefit called the Massachusetts Senior Circuit Breaker. And that's for seniors over 65 to get up to $1,000 back from their expenses, their housing expenses, particularly property taxes and water and sewer bills. So many seniors who might be on a fixed income, don't normally file their taxes, can claim that benefit. But just like the Earned Income Tax Credit, if you don't file, you don't get the benefit. So we run into a lot of both seniors and working families that maybe someone only worked a few months last year, and so they figure it's not worth it to put their tax return in. But that's that 1 in 5 that we know that are not claiming the Earned Income Credit, because if you leave it, if you don't file, you don't get it. So we want to get the word out to the community to let people know that these free tax preparation sites are available both at the CEDC and at PACE, and that we're ready to prepare taxes. Last Saturday, we trained over 35 student volunteers at UMass Dartmouth who are mostly accounting majors, who come in and get some hands-on experience, and at the same time return up to, I think last year we had 1.9 million in refunds and returns that came back into the local economy. And that makes a big difference to communities like New Bedford. So I urge everybody to give us a call. We're by appointment. And then also I did want to mention that for the second time this year, in partnership with the City of New Bedford, we'll be having a tax day here at City Hall on February 19th from 11 to 2 o'clock. So you can call over at the CEDC to make an appointment, and then we will be taking some walk-in appointments as well on tax day on February 19th. So please do give us a call, and
Tell us that number, Corinne.
it's 508-979-4684, and we'll be ready to do your taxes. So thanks again.
All right, thanks, Corinne. I encourage everybody, just go ahead and call the number. If you're not sure whether you're eligible for it, just call the number and find out. You may not be, but you don't know until you actually call. So it's 508-979-4684. All right, one more time, 508-979-4684. All right, with that, let me call Bruce Morrell, who's the Executive Director of PACE, which is involved in a broad array of community support programs, and not the least of which is this time of year is home heating support, but many other things. And Bruce has a great deal of experience in this area as well, and encouraging folks to pursue the earned income tax credit however they can. And so, Bruce, I just ask you to come up and say a couple words about the program.
Thank you, Mayor. I guess one of the things that we miss when we talk about the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, the free part. This time of year, the airwaves are inundated with paid tax preparers that are promising all kinds of things like rapid returns, and they'll check your tax return for free, and they'll do this and that and the other thing. The reality is that the clients who come to see us to get their taxes done would pay between $175 and $600 to these paid preparers to get the taxes done. We do them for absolutely nothing, zero. And our state taxes get returned within 5 days, and the federal tax returns usually within 2 weeks at the very longest. So not only do you get the benefit of the Earned Income Tax Credit, but you don't have to pay the anywhere from $150 to $600 fee that a paid tax preparer will charge you to do what are relatively simple tax returns to be done. All of our volunteers go through a training that the IRS provides. They receive certificates to attest that they passed the training, and we use tax preparing software that's very similar, if not the same, that the professional tax preparers use. All of our tax returns are electronically filed unless otherwise noted, and the returns come in very quick. So last year, as Corinne said, the CEDC had over almost $2 million in returns. Last year, PACE, we did 475 federal and 475 state tax returns. We returned over $1 million in federal tax. But the thing that I look at is just going on an average of $200 a tax return, we saved the citizens of New Bedford $90,000 in tax preparation fees. That comes right out of their refund. So these are great programs. And I would suggest that anyone who has earned income, from wages, that's what the Earned Income Tax Credit is about, contact either the CEDC or PACE at 508-999-9920 to set up an appointment and come and get your taxes done for free. You save the money and you get the benefit of the Earned Income Tax Credit.
Great. Thanks, Bruce. All right, so we have both of those numbers up, and we'll put them up on cable, and WBSM will, I'm sure, distribute them, but it is important. People should just call to find out, hey, am I eligible at all? Because you might surprise yourself. There's no downside in picking up the phone and making that call. All right, with that, we also have Holly Longley, who's a senior tax specialist with the Internal Revenue Service. And you might hear IRS and shivers might go down your spine as a result, but Holly is from the federal government, and she's here to help, as they say. But no, really, Holly, we really appreciate your coming here today. to dispel perhaps some of the myths around the earned income tax credit program, because having you here, having the IRS here, hearing it directly from you, I think gives the efforts of PACE and the CEDC a lot of credibility. So, Holly, if you would. Thanks.
Okay, I'd like to thank you for watching our EITC kickoff event to help us spread the word about this very important tax credit and all the free tax help that is available throughout the state. As we've all said, we're here to encourage people to put in for the earned income tax credit. It's a refundable federal working tax credit for working individuals and families who earn low to moderate income. The key word there is refundable. So anything over and above the taxes that you paid that's left over from the earned income tax credit actually gets refunded to you in your tax refund. Due to the great efforts of partners like CEDC and PACE, IRS estimates that nationally 79% of all eligible taxpayers receive the earned income tax credit. But this also means that 21% do not claim the credit that they deserved as sanctioned by the federal law. So we encourage anyone who's earned under $50,270 from wages, self-employment, some taxable disability income, or farming in 2012 to see if they qualify for this tax credit. Again, as was mentioned, you can only get the earned income tax credit if you file your federal tax return. So even if you don't have enough that you're required to file, you still do need to file and put in the earned income tax credit form to get the tax credit. We want to reach every working individual who may qualify for the earned income tax credit, including newly eligible taxpayers due to the changes in their income, their marital status, or parental status in 2012. Self-employed individuals, people who are working with disabilities, workers in non-traditional situations such as grandparents raising grandchildren who may not realize that they qualify. Childless workers, especially those whose earnings may be too low to require a federal filing. And workers with low English proficiency. As mentioned, there are a variety of ways to see if you're eligible for the earned income tax credit, and we suggest that you go to one of the VITA sites because they do prepare the taxes for free, both federal, state, and they e-file for free. There are no hidden charges. As mentioned, we have CEDC in New Bedford at 508-979-4684, and PACE also in New Bedford at 508-999-9920. You can also find out if you qualify for the earned income tax credit by going onto the internet to the IRS website at www.irs.gov. In the search box, you can put EIT Assistant, which it's an interactive tool to help you determine if you qualify for the earned income tax credit. The only thing that I ask is you might still want to check with one of your VITA sites to see if you do qualify, because some people misunderstand the questions, and if you misunderstand the question and answer it wrong, you will get the wrong answer on the website. So it's always better to double check with one of our VITA sites just to see if you qualify. You can also go to one of the IRS walk-in offices or speak with one of our specialists on the IRS toll-free line at 1-800-TAX-1040. So that's 1-800-TAX-1040. In Massachusetts, some of our VITA sites are part of the United Way hotline, the 211 hotline. And again, if you call the VITA sites, most of our sites are by appointment, so they will schedule an appointment that's convenient for you. And make sure you bring in your ID and your Social Security cards, as well as all your tax documentations. Having your return prepared at a VITA or TCE site can help you provide a financial boost by making sure you get all the credits you are due and at no cost. Again, these sites are free. EITC is a financial boost for working people in a recovering economy, so I urge you to see if you qualify. You've earned it. Now file a tax return to claim it and get it. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Holly. All right, so once again, these are the two relevant numbers. For PACE, it's 508-999-9920, and for the CEDC, it's 508-979-4684. Just call. You might not qualify, but you might. So give it a shot. There's no downside. We really want people to get what they're entitled to from the federal government. It's good for not only individual taxpayers, but also good for the community that we have, upwards of $1 million coming in from the outside that wouldn't have otherwise been claimed. So, and if you have any questions, you can always call City Hall as well. Jim, did you have any questions?
Corinne said 11 to 2. It's 11 to 4 on the 13th. Right?
Okay, yep, that's.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. All right, thanks, guys.
See you.
Oh, thanks a lot.